Breaking news. Bitcoin has just printed this candle with a huge hidden message as to what Bitcoin is getting ready to do next. Take a look. This candle that just printed had the body close below any of the bodies of the past 42 days. This candle has also had the wick reach a lower price than any of the candles of the past 42 days. This candle has power, this candle has significance, and this candle has the potential to put a huge curveball in the market. But make no mistake about it, this candle has a huge message as to what Bitcoin is getting ready to do right now. Take a look in the middle of our screen. We're gonna pair what this candle is doing with the two other stars of the show. RSI, weekly chart, holding support at a critical area and seeing a bounce off of that, making a higher high. Huge signal in the market. Take a look at the bottom of our screen. Stochastic RSI on the weekly chart, almost ready for a cross up. That'll be major. There is major significance to all three of these components. We're gonna break down this hidden message. You're gonna leave this video with a sense of calm and peace and clarity, and get ready for Bitcoin's next huge move, because it is right around the corner. Do you wish you were making more money in crypto? Do you want to recover those bad losses? Don't you just wish that there was buy and sell alerts that could be sent to your phone? Well, today, your dream is a reality. My indicator bundle is a one-time payment and unlock it for life. Get money-making buy and sell alerts directly to your phone. It works for Bitcoin and all altcoins. It's great for day traders, swing traders, and long-term holders. Whether you've been in crypto for 10 minutes or 10 years, sign up now and make 5 times more in this cycle with my indicator bundle. Best of all, this is the largest ever discount we have ever had on the indicator bundle. The problem? It's only for a limited time. Pay with crypto and save an extra $250. Plus, sign up right now and unlock 3 special bonus trade alerts valued at over $1,500 completely free. I literally can't make it any easier. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Give yourself this gift you can use for life. Once you sign up, see if you're a lucky winner to add my hybrid indicator to your cart. Go now. The clock is ticking. cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Now, let's jump into it. Bitcoin US dollar weekly chart. We've got a lot to discuss. We're going to discuss at length this candle that just printed, because it has major implications, as well as this pivot of the RSI and the star of the show, the stochastic RSI. Let's start with price action. What we've seen with price action, and we're going to talk about this white line up here and the white line below and this diagonal line here, because they all have huge significance. But this really started back when Bitcoin made a huge rally. When Bitcoin made a huge rally, you see this green candle here, which printed on February 26th. This happened to be one of the largest candles of the entire rally, and it happened to be right near the top of the current rally. Huge sign. After that, we printed this big red candle here, March 11th, 2024. This is an indecision candle, where you have a thin body in the middle and you have a long upper wick and a long lower wick. This candle was the start of everything that happened the past 42 days, because for the first time, Bitcoin lost its stability. And we started to have a huge tug of war between the bulls and the bears. There was no tug of war for the past 100-ish days. There was no tug of war for the past few months. The bulls were in complete control, right? So we printed this candle, and then we followed that up with this candle. This candle was a bullish hammer candle, meaning we had a thin body at the top, little to no upper wick, long lower wick, which suggests that the price was bought up. We followed that up with this green candle, which is a bullish engulfing candle. So essentially what happened is we had this tug of war, which ended in a complete tie, and then the bulls took control for the next couple weeks, but it failed to make a new higher high, right? That price of 73,000 has not been touched for 42 days, and we haven't really gotten close to it. So after that tug of war, the bulls took control for a couple of weeks, but then they lost it. And we printed this. This is a hanging man candle. No upper wick, body up at the top. The body closed the top half of the bullish engulfing candle. And then we had this long lower wick, which, by the way, was bought up. Anytime you see these wicks at the bottom, we have momentum to the upside. Anytime you see these wicks at the top, we have momentum to the downside. It's as simple as that. So we got to this hanging man candle, and what we needed for the following candle to do was print a body below this body. This would tell us that the hanging man candle is confirmed. In other words, the bulls had taken control. The bears were trying to overtake that with this hanging man candle and the subsequent confirmation of the hanging man candle, which we got. So what we were looking for in this next week's candle was the body closing below the body of the hanging man candle. And we got that. We had an official hanging man candle, which is a bearish reversal candle. In other words, we had this tug of war. The bulls took control for a couple of weeks. Then they lost control, and the bears were completely in control until this candle. This candle had the body, a thin body, by the way, the thinnest body since our indecision candle. And this body actually had the lowest close out of any candle in the past 42 days. So this is where things really start heating up. This candle also had the wick go the lowest of any of the wicks the past 42 days. Another huge sign. From Mark, Steve's education made all the difference. We profited $50,000. From Dr. George, in just 1 week, I made $70,000 profit using Steve's indicators. Carl, I made 300% trade with his system. Go now. The clock is ticking. CryptoCrewUniversity.com/sale. I have to remind folks, we had this long rally, right? Everybody was at the edge of their seats. Bitcoin was rising, it seemed like every single day. And when we got up above 73,000, everybody was at the edge of their seats. Every single day Bitcoin was rising, and everyone was looking at $100,000 Bitcoin. They were drooling for it, and everyone was screaming for it. We were in this euphoria stage. We were above 73,000, and I put out a huge warning to everybody. And this is what I said. Roll the clip. Attention cryptocurrency investors and traders. There is a major correction coming to the crypto space that will take the world by storm and surprise most, but it's going to present one of the best buying opportunities of this bull run if you've missed out so far. So in that clip, you can clearly see Bitcoin was well above 73,000. The market was as bullish as ever, and I put out something that went completely against the grain. It pissed a lot of people off, but look at what's happened since then. Bitcoin has not gotten anywhere close to 73,000, and we've had huge opportunities to buy. Now, what I want to stress to you is always go against the high majority and always stay true to the facts. We printed an indecision candle at the top of a rally. We were going to have a slowdown in what was to come. So luckily for us, we've got multiple opportunities to buy. If you watch my channel, I gave you a very simple strategy in like 6 or 7 videos. I said, look, when Bitcoin corrects 15 to 20%, add to your position. So the folks that follow my channel bought at 61,000 back in the middle of March. And then they bought at $61,000 in the beginning of April. And then they bought again at $61,000 in this most recent candle. All 3 times, they're up well over 10% as we speak. Just following a simple strategy. You always want to keep it simple. Always go based on the facts and the charts. Now, we've got to pair what this candle is and the hidden message that it has with the body having the lowest close of the body out of any candle in the past 42 days, and also the wick going lower than any candle in the past 42 days. Huge hidden clues. Held on to that because we've got to pair it with what's happening in the RSI and the stochastic RSI. I also need to tell you about this green line, because this green line plays a pivotal role in every single bull market in the history of Bitcoin, right? So we're going to come back to this green line. We're going to come back to this candle. We've got to get to the middle of our chart, the RSI. RSI, overbought, oversold. As you know, we reached a high of this 88 level at the same time that we were printing an indecision candle, and at the same time that I gave you this huge warning. Why did I give you this warning? Well, if you look at it, Bitcoin has reached 88 or higher only a handful of times. You can literally count it on your hands. Bitcoin has been in existence for well over 14 years, and you can count on your hands how many times it's reached 88 or higher. In other words, this 88 level means that we were incredibly overbought. In other words, the high majority of the people, the herd, were buying at this level, unfortunately. Unless they watch my channel, then they were selling, right? So unfortunately, a lot of people buy at the top. That's okay if you buy at the top. Perfectly fine. I'm going to get you on the right track. But we had this pivot high of 88, and then we have subsequently fallen to about 70, getting some clear market structure back in our pivot point of November 21 and our pivot point of April 23, both acting as resistance. As soon as you break resistance, it becomes support, and we just confirmed that support most recently. Now, here's where it gets interesting for the RSI. Beautiful structure, by the way. We had a pivot high back here in April 23. We had a higher high in December of 2023, and our most recent higher high, once again, of March 2024. What I also like is we had a pivot low here in January, and we had a higher low so far. Market structure looking beautiful and very healthy in the RSI. Now let's get to the star of the show, the stochastic RSI. What we see right now is we have the orange line on top. Anytime the orange line is on top, our momentum is heading down. When you hear stochastic RSI, I want you to think momentum. When you hear RSI, I want you to think overbought, oversold. So right now, we have momentum to the downside. This is not my opinion. This is a bona fide fact. Anytime you have the blue line on top, you have momentum going up. Anytime the orange line is on top, momentum going down. It's that simple. Now, what we haven't done yet is had a cross back up. That's where things will really get interesting, because that's when we'll have a lot of momentum coming into the market instead of momentum heading down. One thing we need to keep in mind is as our momentum is heading down, a lot of times once we get to that bottoming out action, that's when we take another little dive. Take a look here, right? We had momentum kind of dwindling as we were going down. Price was kind of falling. Once we started to round out our form here, that's when we took that final dip, okay? Anytime you see that type of action, right? Again, here, took that final dip near the bottom here, and near the bottom here in May of 2023 with this action right here. So we haven't had that yet. However, we do have some market structure in price action with this white line on top and this white line on bottom. Now, let's take a look at our structure. As I mentioned, we have this white line on top and we have this white line on bottom. The one on top so far has been our resistance for almost 50 days. And the one on the bottom has been our support for almost 50 days. Actually, it's 49 days to be precise. If you want to look at this candle from March 4th, 2024, we had this big green candle here, one of the largest of the entire bull market so far. This big green candle found at the top of a rally, it followed up with this candle. This is when the bull started to lose control a bit. And we had this long lower wick to the bottom, which means momentum to the upside. And that formed our pivot low that we just hit almost to the T. Okay? In other words, in the past 49 days, we just marked the lowest price of Bitcoin while printing the lowest close of the body in over 42 days. Huge, huge signals happening in the market. Let me get to this diagonal line, which I think is super cool. From our indecision candle, thin body in the middle, long upper wick, long lower wick. We started this diagonal line. This was our resistance here. Our next candle was our resistance. The following candle was a bullish engulfing. It broke through, acting as support. The next candle had support directly on that diagonal line, and the next candle after that, support directly on the diagonal line. In our most recent candle, support directly on the diagonal line. So for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, we played with precisely this diagonal line. Now, this is where things get interesting because we had some support at the bottom. The bulls had lost control. They had gained control for these couple weeks. They lost control with the hanging man, but it was bought up the whole way down. So what we see happening is the bears gained control, but they were still having this area every time had a huge wick to the upside, huge wick to the upside, and a huge wick to the upside. In other words, the bears took control, but the bulls were there to buy it up every single time, taking away that momentum from the bears and leaving more indecision. So we've had this huge rally. We've gotten a bunch of indecision in between there, and we're in this price channel of our high of above 73 and our low of just about 59. And we're range bound. We're range bound until this one thing happens, and then we'll jump back into what this candle is. Some people may say, hey, this is a dragonfly doji. I'm going to get to that in a moment. When we look at it, we've got beautiful structure, as we said in the RSI, and we're waiting for a stochastic RSI cross. This is the thing that's going to add fuel to the fire. This is the one thing that can change everything for Bitcoin, including this range that we're in. This one cross, the stochastic RSI cross on the weekly chart, could get us out of this range-bound territory that we've been in for almost 50 days. Now, let's get to this candle, and I'm going to tell you more about this stochastic RSI cross. What this candle is, lowest body close, but we have a little bit of an upper wick, long lower wick. What this suggests is that we had this hanging man, which is a bearish reversal. We confirmed the hanging man with this candle, and then this candle was almost a dragonfly doji. A dragonfly doji is a trend reversal back to the upside. It's quite the opposite of this one, right? A hanging man is a trend reversal to the downside, which we clearly got. And then this one is almost a dragonfly doji. When the dragonfly doji, you don't want to see a big wick like this, and you want to see a little bit of a thinner body. So it's not a textbook dragonfly doji, although it does have a long lower wick, which suggests that these areas were bought up, probably by people who watched my videos, because we literally put a very simple strategy for free that made people a lot of money because they bought at 60, 61 here, 60, 61 here, and 60 or 61K here. All of those times were bought up, which suggests that this area is heavily protected by the bulls, and the bulls have not given up, making us range bound. It's been really a big tug of war for 50 days between the bulls and the bears, and nobody has really grasped control. Even though the bulls grasped control, they couldn't get it above 73. And even though the bears grasped control, they couldn't get it below 59. So nobody has really won yet. And the winner is going to come when we have a stochastic RSI cross. When we have a bona fide stochastic RSI cross, that's what could take us out of this range and finally above 73. But we will not get above 73 until we have a stochastic RSI cross. By the way, what should you be doing now? If you're completely out of the market, you need to follow the strategy that I gave everybody almost 50 days ago. If Bitcoin falls from its high of above 73 down 15 to 20%, you need to add to your position. I gave you the exact formula in prior videos. You can go watch it there. But there's an exact formula if we fall further with what percentage to add. But if you're completely out of the market, that's what you should be doing. But you should be remaining level-headed. This is a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. We are range-bound. It's more risky to be out of Bitcoin than in Bitcoin. Don't try to get cute and sell and buy back when we go lower. I want you to be strategic and add to your positions, but most importantly, watch for a weekly stochastic RSI cross, because that is when everything is going to change. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Check out what my indicator bundle can do. BitShib USD turned 10,000 into 30,000 with this quick buy and this quick sell. Bitcoin turned $10,000 into 147,000. Ethereum turned 10,000 into 270,000. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking. Stop leaving money on the table. Sign up now and get buy and sell alerts directly to your phone for the rest of your life. Recover those losses and make 5x more in this market cycle. Pay with crypto and save an extra $250. Don't miss out. Offer ends soon. CryptoCrewUniversity.com/sale.